Very good evening, everyone. Charles here again, Frgnt Daily Chart Analysis. Just a bit of a roundup summary of the day, to be quite honest. Tuesday, 31st of March, 2026. More so for my own record than your own. Well, we have had as expected, or I wouldn't say as expected, as forecast. In particular, if I go to that 15-minute time frame, we have finally had the reaction that we were looking for. If I bring you to the top, I can get that to load. Perfect. 15-minute chart. We were forecasting and hoping for a rejection from this 15-minute order block based upon our original forecast of higher high on the daily time frame on the DXY, or even on the 4-hour time frame, which I'll show you in a moment. After the higher high, expecting a higher low for a reaction from that area. We had the closure below. At that stage, a couple of alerts, as you can probably see on the recording, a couple of alerts went off for me. But nevertheless, the pairs that I was looking at were still respecting their areas. So I was thinking, well, perhaps even if the DXY came down to here, my stop loss placement on Gbcad, on AU, on EU would potentially survive in the drawdown before hoping for a potential reaction from even this low, or better still, if we could look to reject this area, then most certainly we would be moving towards the bank. As you can see, we've had that rejection coming into play, and to be quite honest, I'm surprised that this rejection on the DXY has led to the profits that I will show you in a moment. So if you keep that picture in mind on the DXY, understand that we needed that bullish pressure to come into the market to drive AU down, to drive EU down. I'll bring you there in just a moment. And as I head to the 4-hour, you can see also why I was looking at DXY bullish from that area after that higher high created, higher low pullback perhaps into an area of interest before looking to go long. And then we can see I've gone over it a million times already, but on that daily time frame, bottom right hand chart now, if I refresh that, you've got the same information there. So the DXY is very much so bullish, and we wanted to capitalize on that as opposing to take opposing trades, and that's what we've done today in particular. So let me bring your attention now to AUD US dollar. Already taken profit on that, to be quite honest, as a result of having an alert just in this area here. As soon as that alert went off, I'll be fair to you, I closed that position out, was not hanging around whatsoever, and simply banked exactly what the market was willing to offer me. So that's 2% banked on that position. Now, what else was I going to go into? That's it. So if I bring your attention to now, I think it was this morning. Well, always I'm updating my charts and doing my daily chart analysis for you guys all to have a look at. But where is the one in particular? Here it is. I'm going to shed some light on something you will all have in your trading careers. So I'm getting this. Your ideas are useless. Just post entry, stop loss, take profit, stop with your BS analysis. So as I've said in my personal community, is just let the charts do the talking, boys and girls. That is the best remedy to satisfy these kind of comments. And of course, I just thanked this person and wish them all the very best in their trading journey. And as I always do, I'm very transparent. I posted that position when I was in it. And be sure I will be posting that position when I have taken profit as well. So Neo_FX7, I hope the analysis worked out for you, despite me not posting my entry and my stop loss and my take profits. And nevertheless, while we're on that chart, here is the beauty of always doing your chart analysis in the morning. If I go back to, let's have a look at AU. How long ago was that? So 10 hours ago. 10 hours ago, we're looking for price to come up into this area and hoping for a rejection from that area for shorts in line with DXY bullishness, and then simply to support that DXY bullishness, what we have 9 hours ago here. In fact, that's a video. Feel free to take a look at that. But DXY 10 hours ago, looking for a rejection from this area. And that's pretty much what we have or what we had. So back to the charts now to see what the rest of the evening could play out for us. So taking profits on AU shorts. Let's have a look at another pair that I also speculated on, Gbcad. Gbcad was taken in line with a limit order from this area. And in fact, let me close this trade out now because I don't believe I have a take profit on Gbcad. So there's Gbcad now closed on one and on another, and certainly on that account. So Gbcad has now closed for a full take profit of 3%, or just shy of 3%, as a result of me doing this video and not paying attention. But as you can see, look at this trade here. Gbcad, a loss this afternoon. It didn't affect the bias whatsoever. I just knew that, okay, this is a position in the market that price may or may not respect. I've done my analysis. If the setup aligns, and I'm certainly going to look to take a position from there. And that's exactly what I'd done. So I was -1 or minus an R for the day coming into taking AU shorts. There was Gbcad, is what it is. And then this Gbcad here is most certainly made up for those losses, taking pretty much the same type of trade. I'll be fair, this was a sell limit order as a result of there being no other 15-minute order blocks that I'd be looking to trade from. Everything else was simply mitigated. Even judging by my stop loss, I wasn't bothered at all by this order block to the left as a result of me having the absolute faith in the fact that price had already tapped into that area, and based on the directional movement on that lower time frame, on that 15-minute time frame, I was happy that once price had made that low, depending on how you view it, either from this area made that low, price is coming back up for that lower low, lower high, potentially continuation. However, what could ruin the party? It would be the 4-hour 50 EMA for me. That price is or has closed above. Therefore, I'm having to close my trade out by there just in case we reject that area and in fact reprice slightly differently. We've now made a higher low from this area for a potential higher high. So reading the market with that level of detail and intricacies is very much so required in order to make money in this business. So there's Gbcad. We've taken full profits on Gbcad, 3% or just short, as I've closed it live on this video. AUD USD, we banked that 2% and a bit as well. And then the third trade of the day, which is now or has now been locked out at break even as a result of now feeling no reason to risk any more money in the markets today. The job has been done and price is giving me a way to actually take money out of the market. There's no way I am looking to allow this position to go in any type of drawdown and take me out and allow me to take less than I've already banked. So AUD USD also has been locked, Euro US dollar has been locked off at break even. And to be honest, AUD USD shorts, in fact, AUD USD shorts had been my catalyst for this, recognizing that, of course, we're looking at DXY bullishness to come into the market, having the absolute faith that, okay, if the DXY is really moving off from this level, then that should bring into play EU as well as AU, as it has done, and potentially AU could continue to the downside. So nevertheless, it has been quite a fruitful trading day in terms of results. But to be honest, that is, I'll be fair, what I'm used to doing. Using the DXY as great level of confidence to take position and allow myself to take higher probable trades. That's the normal business play. The only, I guess, difference that I'm finding or seeing over, let's say, the last 3 weeks is my trading style has adapted slightly to be a little bit more aggressive when I'm getting in trades, but also managing them aggressively as well. So I have been taking a lot more break-even trades at the moment as a result of the DXY for quite a duration of time. Although we could say that it's bullish, it had been bullish into areas that we would be looking for rejections from. But the DXY, it really did show us that it is bullish, and it's going to be bullish with a lot of intent. Therefore, as I look back in hindsight, potentially a couple of trading errors had crept in to try to preempt a reversal of that DXY. Instead, let's just use the information that we have. DXY bullish, let's look to use that bullishness across all the cross pairs. And that's effectively what we've done this afternoon. Again, just to recap, AUD USD shorts, Gbcad shorts, which has just been closed out, and Euro US dollar shorts as well, which is still active. Stop loss has now been moved to break even, and it is what it is for the rest of that. So a couple of good takeaways, to be honest. My highest takeaway, I'd say, is if you're able to plan your trade in advance, you can go no wrong to just trade that plan. So have your plan set in stone, await price action to come to you, and then it's just down to you in terms of your fixed level of entry criteria, so long as it matches nicely with your setups. And as you'll see here, I'm always posting potential areas in the market where I could well be looking for trading opportunities. But just because you see me put an order block, it doesn't mean I am going to be taking a position from that area. What I've shown today is what I try to show every day within private communities. TradingView, please do not block me for mentioning that, but using the DXY as confluence. So if I can see that, let's say GU looked fair, or even EU, I think, looked really nice for longs this morning. However, I wasn't able to get in that long position. I think exactly just here, I was waiting to see if price would come back. It didn't, but I wasn't then chasing that long position. I understood that the trade has now gone. My targets have been hit. Stop looking for longs, right? I'm now in the position that I'm now looking for shorts. But am I looking for shorts, or have I just awaited that short to be presented? In my opinion, I've waited for that short to be presented. I haven't shorted here or anywhere else coming up. I've waited for my analysis to ring true, utilizing the alerts. Once prices come into that order block, I'm looking for shorts at that stage. So having your fixed plan, even if you are posting your charts just to yourself, as I had been doing for a long duration of time, and then thankfully I've had some followers join the party. 1,200 of you seem to like to follow the ideas and things that I post. But that's just a side effect of you being disciplined enough to say, right, this is my analysis for the day, and this is how I'm going to be looking to trade from those areas. So that would be my number one takeaway of this video. Secondly, or evenly placed, I'd say using that confirmation by way of the DXY, you can really go no wrong. If you're going to be trading those cross pairs, mark that DXY up as if you're going to be trading it, just as I have done here. I'm expecting a reaction from that DXY. As a result of having a couple of areas on that DXY, I recognize that my position could well lose. That's then giving me the expectation that I'm just a mere bystander in these markets. I'm just trying to put my strategy to work with markets that may or may not respect what I have to say. As you can see here, the DXY almost gave me two fingers up, to be quite honest. But at the end of the day, we had that bullish pressure coming out from the area. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to come from here, knowing that I'm not actually trading the DXY. But even so, if I were to have a stop loss placed from the equilibrium, opposite way around, but you see where I'm going with this, a decent stop loss, let's say even underneath this wick, for good example, the DXY may have been saved in that position, right? So having your strategy, having a fixed plan, and using that DXY to your advantage, particularly if you are trading those cross pairs, it is going to help you. It's free of charge to have the DXY as an additional index on your chart. And what you'll see here and what you'll see every day is the DXY is always top of the list. Before I speculate for the day, the DXY is the catalyst that I am marking to the highest degree. Without the DXY, I feel slightly lost because it means I'm trading without my right hand. The pair that I'm trading is the pair that I'm looking at, but I know the DXY is going to be the reason behind that pair moves. It's going to be the reason behind whether or not that pair, particularly that I'm trading, is going to win, lose, or be stopped out break even, right? For good example now, I know if the DXY shows signs of weakness, Euro US dollar, unfortunately, is going to stop me out break even. I have that expectation already. So therefore, I have no fixed attitude to any which of my positions particularly once I understand that the DXY does not have to respect me, but so long as I'm consistent enough to continue to apply the same process over and over and over again, despite how boring it gets. And believe me, after a while, trading doesn't feel as exciting as it once was. It's just a means to make money, and it becomes a job like any other. Please let me assure you of that. Whether you are a full, well, you wouldn't, I suppose I'm saying this to someone that is not a full-time trader. Trading full-time, yes, you can aspire to it, but just understand it isn't something that you will be looking at as a beach type of pastime while you're sipping a sangria on the beach. Or let me just see how trading's getting on. No. Take that narrative out of your mind. Understand that to trade professional, you have to treat it as professionally as you would treat it any other profession. Until you do that, you will not succeed. I'm quite strict with that. And the day that I treated trading with the same level of professionalism that I treat my other professions, that's the day I became fully successful and understand that you've got to put in what you expect to get out. So without further ado, I will definitely quit the rant, but you see where I'm getting with this. And as I always say, thank you very much for your support across all the channels. Thank you very much for TradingView for unbanning me. I appreciate it. And to everyone else on your trading journey, all the best on that journey. And I hope this video has been of a benefit to you all. Until next time, all the very best, everyone. Do take care and enjoy the last day, I guess, of the month. And I suppose this is the last day of the last full week of the quarter before we start all over again and investors start to put more pressure on you if you're in that ball game at the moment. Until then, team, all the very best. Do take care. Charles.